there.
Roy Jones is an absolute legend. He really is.
Legend. And I learned a lot from Roy in that fight too, because you got Glenn just roughing him up. I learned how to roll against the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And because the way Roy was rolling, he could always let off shots because he always rolled with his shoulders.
I used to always love how he would just fight like this. Like he would have his hands down. Like,
he wouldn't do all of that.
He was always
special
just
stuff.
like this, like just looking at you and bah, bah.
Roy taught me how to use movement as defense.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand that. Roy would use movement. So if he threw a left hook, right? If he threw that left hook, he would roll that left hook underneath whatever you threw and come with a shot right up under it. Roy taught me that. That's what I learned from Roy. So I could sit against the ropes and roll and just counter. And that's what he's so great at. Like, as aggressive as you're going to be against the ropes, Roy is going to roll and hit you with shots all day because his movement, his footwork, his balance. Roy was the perfect, like, to me, he was just perfect. But his athleticism made him perfect. Once that started to dwindle, his legs started to go, then he was getting hit too much. But Roy in his prime, like I said, man, I wouldn't pick anybody against Roy in his prime. He's my GOAT. That's my greatest of all time.
No, I agree. I agree with you, man. We're winding down to the last couple of minutes here. I really, really do appreciate, you coming on the show, man, your experience, your knowledge, everything. You're going to have to send us a check. Not a check. I'm sorry. You're going to have to send us a bill.
I'm like, I got to pay you.
No, you're going to have to send us a bill. From everything that you said today was very helpful for everybody that's going to tune in. I'm sure it's going to help out that boxer at home listening to this show. Like, you know what? I could take something from Coach Cutt, like straight up.
I don't even want them to take nothing from me. To be honest with you, I want them to take stuff from these fighters. Right. Stop watching these fighters just, because I think fan bias is really kind of like, in my opinion, the fans are ruining the sport, but they're not doing it purposely. They just invest too much into a specific fighter to where they fall in love with that fighter and they want to protect them. Right. Because a lot of times you'll get guys arguing and they'll make excuses for guys ducking, right? True. Oh, who has he fought? And I'm like, why are you worried about who he fought? Like, shouldn't he get an opportunity to at least challenge himself? It's like, how can a fighter prove himself to you if you are making an excuse as to why he shouldn't take that challenge, right? Like, let him go out there. If it's an easy fight, it's an easy fight for your fighter.
Exactly.
Right? But like, what are you worried about? Give him that opportunity. That's like, don't talk about who Wilder fought and who Ortiz fought, and like fight them. Like, it doesn't matter. Fight them still. If it's such an easy cakewalk, let them fight. Watch a good fight.
That's exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And
I agree with you.
Fans have to stop doing that. Yeah, because if promoters have to protect their assets, right?
Right.
So if a loss diminishes their assets, promoters have to pick very carefully who their fighter fights. Mm-hmm. But if a promoter sees, okay, fans just love to watch this guy. Look at Gabe Rosado and Golden Boy, right? Mm-hmm. Fans just love to watch this guy. Look at Fernando Vargas, another legend that's underappreciated mainstream, but Fernando is a film study. You see his sons, man. There is no way.
All three.
How do you breed three? Like I ask yourself this: how many like famous, like really star athletes who are up in that echelon level, like Vargas was? How many of them breed? And then they still won't do, and it's still not that good, right? You look at Joe Frazier and his son. He was like his son. Yeah, he made it to fight Tyson and all that, but he wasn't really, a standout, a stud. Like, he didn't live up to his father. But when you look at Vargas' sons, man, all of those boys look special. They all special. And that relationship that they have with their pops, Vargas is a treasure. And people need to start appreciating Vargas even more.
When I was in Vegas, I was at the Jorge Capatillo's gym in Vegas.
Yeah, I follow him.
Yeah, so when I was there, I was just watching the three boys, and Fernando was there, and the way they interacted with each other and the way they gave praise to their pops, like straight up saying they're a legend. My pops is a legend. They understand the shoes that they got to fill.
Yeah.
And they're taking it in like they were meant to be in this sport. All of them are so humble. They're very man, how can I say
salute to Vargas, salute to Vargas' wife, salute to that home that they created, man.
How can I say this? how can I say this by not being disrespectful to them, by saying that they're very lovable, like in a respectful way. Like they
No,
really
they are.
they're very
You like
lovable.
you can't stop. You can't not watch what they're doing.
Right,
Like
right.
you like it's hard to turn
But
away
them
from
as
what they're doing
them
because they're all doing
as
it.
a person, like when you're there, they're very they're like Bernie. Rest in peace to Bernie again. They're like Bernie. Like they show you nothing but love in there. They don't care who you are. They show you nothing but love and respect when you're at their gym. Straight
His
up.
youngest son, the interview he did with a Fight Hype, I believe it was.
Okay.
I think it was Fight Hype. Like, how are you that young and you have that much wisdom?
They're coached.
You
Oh,
get what
I
I
don't
mean?
even
Like
know if they're coached. I don't think they're coached. I think that's just natural.
they learned they had to learn it from
True.
their what? Their influences, right? Their
Right.
influences, the mother and the father. Like,
Yeah.
hats off to that Vargas family. Like that, I hope and I pray that they just enjoy success. And I hope they're like, I
Yeah.
hope they exceed their father's expectations, man,
And
because those boys are special as well.
Fernando Vargas Jr. has a fight coming up next week. So,
Yeah, he
tune
do.
in for
And
that
that's
one.
another thing. God, people need to start supporting them. Like if
Yeah.
you support these guys, the only way we're going to have boxing is going to survive is if we start supporting the guys before the promoters tell you who to support.
Yeah.
Support the guys so the promoters take those guys, right?
Yeah.
If we support these guys at the lower levels, promoters are going to pay attention to these guys at these lower levels.
I agree.
And so when we support these shows, it's like, okay, it's going to be more of a farming situation to where promoters are going to be hanging out at all of these different shows. And these local promotions, the more money they get, because you got guys who show up for fights, literally. Matthias Boxer, another guy, the Silent Assassin, Jerry Bradford. I hope I say his name right. My
Right.
guy, Jerry Bradford, out of Outlaws, right?
Yeah.
Matthias will go. Well, he flew out for a fight and it got canceled on him. Like, how do you fly out somewhere to fight and the fight gets canceled? You get what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like a lot of times this happens because, either the guy doesn't make the weight or sometimes enough tickets don't sell. And then that was money you were counting on. That's how you eat. And
Yeah.
so we're not supporting these guys. We're not buying the live streams. We're not buying tickets to the shows. We're not buying the merchandise. We're not supporting them. We're not putting them on. Promoters are in boxing, it's like having a sales job, right?
Right.
You have to sell yourself. That's why Jake Paul's doing so good.
I
He
agree.
has a brand already.
I agree.
He has a brand. So these guys are building, they're trying to build their brand, but no one's paying attention to them.
I agree.
But if you actually go into these gyms and you see these guys in the training, working, you see them running. Like if you see a guy running along the street, more than likely he's a fighter. Ask him, are you a fighter? What's your name? What's your Instagram? For anybody who's watching, if you see any guy just running, just ask him. He could be a fighter, up and coming fighter, just getting ready for a fight. Like look at Kelly Pavlik, the dude. You know what I mean? Not Kelly Pavlik. I'm sorry. The light heavyweight, Joe. Again, drawing a blank.
What's his name? Where's he
Joe
from?
Smith.
Yeah, Joe Smith.
Joe Smith, right? He was still working with his with a construction company and stuff like that until he started. It's like these guys they could be more dedicated to their craft if it became more of like an NCAA thing, where promoters don't have to pick and choose carefully. They can just sign multiple guys because the fans are going to support every show, every card, and they can just let these guys fight and support our female boxers. Most important, because it is not fair that these girls are fighting amateur with. It's kind of like how back in the day with the college hoops for women.
Yeah.
There was nothing to look forward to. Like Cheryl Miller, she should have been the greatest basketball player to ever see a WNBA floor, but they didn't have that, right? And so support these women out here because they're fighting an amateur and accomplished all these great things. And then you got Clarissa Shields. How is it that a two-time Olympian, gold medalist, right? The fastest fighter to become a 3-division champion, right? I don't care. You can say, oh, no. Women scrap.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a
boring in women boxing.
I haven't seen a boring females fight ever. Hannah Gabriel versus Clarissa Shields. Man, if you watch what's her name? I can't remember. I'm bad, man. But she fought Maria Cornejo, who trains out of Blue Moon sometimes, I believe.
Oh yeah. Cornejo.
I hope I said her name right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She scrapped with her. She's known as the HH Diva, Glenn DeZern.
Okay.
Yeah. That fight was a film study.
Yeah.
That fight was a film study.
And
The Hannah
Canelo got
Gabriel's
hands,
fight,
too. Like she's
they
raw.
know what they're doing. Raquel Miller, she's a scrapper. Like in the ring with Christine, you know who that is?
Yeah, Christine. Yeah, yeah.
Everybody should follow In the Ring with Christine. She's actually she's a coach in Tokyo now.
Yeah.
She's a part of the USA team. She posts all of the female fighters that you need to watch. Like she supports female boxing like crazy.
And
And I
I think
follow
female
her so I
boxing
can get put up on game.
is rising. I honestly do think that female boxing is rising. You know, I
It
think it's
is. And
coming
like,
up. If you
yeah, like
notice,
I bought,
there's female fights in almost every card now. There's at least one or
and
two.
you know what? And I said, and I put it out there, I said, I'm not gonna watch any card, and I haven't done yet. Any card that doesn't have a female fight, I won't watch it. Because
Okay.
it's not hard. It's not hard to book these women to actually fight consistently,
At least have
right?
one.
Like who really watches the undercard as far as like the first two? Not many people, right?
I do.
So I do too, personally.
Yeah,
I
I
do
love
too,
it.
but I'm
Actually,
saying as
those
far
to
as like,
me are probably the best fights.
no, they are, because these guys got to prove themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so these women they have to prove themselves. And a lot of times you got women who are, you'll see their records like 5-1 or like 5-8. And it's like they don't have a lot of fights because they can't get a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Like when Clarissa
There's not a lot
Shields
of
had
money
that
into it.
all-female pay-per-view, I'm like, yo, I bought it right away. Bet, watched it. Entertain. All these women scrap.
Support.
Yeah, it's like just support and watch the sport. They're not out there slapping each other.
No, they're
They're
brawling.
it's
Throwing
not even
hands.
brawling. They are a film study just like any other great fighter is. And Clarissa
I agree.
Shields is special. I want to see a Super Six.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see three of the proven. I want to see Clarissa, Hannah Gabriels, and I want to see Katie Taylor, right? The one everyone claims is the real GOAT, which she ain't. She's very talented, but she's no Clarissa Shields at all, right?
Taylor's good.
I want to. She's good, but come on, Clarissa is.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's not human in the ring, right?
Yeah.
And so, like patience, timing, just all of that. She does everything right.
Estrada is a beast.
I'm telling you, man. I want to see a super. I want to see a Super 8.
Yeah.
like everybody find a catch weight, put them in there, and let them go. Let's see who like. I think if that happens, if the promoter decided to do that, I think that will put women's boxing just like in a different stratosphere.
I agree.
In different stratosphere.
So let's do this, man. Because we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. But I want to get this little segment that I always do on my shows. It's called Let's Get Personal. So I'm gonna ask you some fire questions, and you got to answer them. You know, random questions. They're random. I got them all mixed up, so I'm gonna just pick.
All right.
So I do this every episode. So let's get personal. You ready? Drum roll.
Ready.
All right. Favorite food?
Burgers. Cheeseburger.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite athlete?
Oh man, that's on the spot. Favorite athlete. Oh man, I'm a boxing fan, so I'm gonna just say Canelo. Cause I'm a boxing fan. That's the only sport I think of when I think of athlete right now. So Canelo.
First car?
It was a weird colored 93 Hyundai Elantra.
All right. Dream car?
Dream car? Oh man, probably a 98 Cobra.
Favorite place to travel?
I don't travel a lot, but my destination is Ghana. Ghana is where I want to go.
All right. All-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie? Man, this is so many.
I'm telling you.
My go-to movie? Yeah, it's on the spot, man, because it's like, oh man, go-to movie. If I had to put a movie on go-to movie, probably Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Oh, thank you. That's actually mine.
Yeah,
that's dope.
If I had to watch one movie for the rest of my life, it'd probably be When Nature Calls.
Ask anybody that knows me, it's either Ace Ventura movies, all of them actually, because Jim Carrey to me is like one of my favorite actors. Liar, all right. So favorite music, any type of genre.
Favorite music?
Yeah.
Gospel.
What do you listen to get in the zone?
Oh, old school hip hop. Eric B, Rakim. I'm listening to old LL Cool J. Up and coming LL Cool J. I'm listening to that. I'm listening to when my homies called Apocalypse Now.
LL Cool J.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, when like if you come to my gym, the whole soundtrack is gonna be old school stuff. 93 till infinity. It's gonna be De La Soul. You're gonna hear AZ. You're gonna hear all that. You're gonna hear all the guys like, you're gonna hear Pharaoh Monch. You're gonna
Okay.
hear like real,
Yeah.
real classic stuff.
All right. All right. Sounds good. There you guys have it. The fighter machine. I'm sorry, the fighter mechanic.
Hey, I mean, you can call me that too. It is what it
And
is.
there you go. There you go. The fighter mechanic, Coach Cutt. Man, thank you. Thank you for stopping by,
Hey
giving
man,
us
no, I
good
appreciate you
knowledge,
having me on, man.
giving us some good knowledge, giving us some good insight in the sport of boxing. We got to have you back on. I feel like we
Oh,
have more to talk
anytime.
about. I feel like we do have more to talk about. So you'll be back on soon. We'll do another part 2, and we'll get this going, man. Where can they follow
Support
you?
your local fighters. Support the local. Show up to the amateur shows. Fill the amateur shows out. Like if you like boxing, go to USA Boxing's website. Search. Like you can literally email the local chairman. Ask them when the next show is. Subscribe to their newsletters. Go to gyms. Ask the gyms do they hold shows. Go to Jackrabbit Boxing on Long Beach. Shout out to Coach Ivan out there. Jackrabbit. Shout out to another guy. Watch out for young Ashley H2O. Watch out for him too. Watch out for them. Watch out for Anthony Finesse Hess. That guy is he's cut from that Pernell Whitaker claw. I like
Okay.
that
Oh,
dude.
now.
Javion Cardinal, real long dude. He could be cut from that Hearn claw. He uses the jab real good. He knows how to use his range. There's a lot of gyms. Go to these gyms, talk to these coaches, get with these people, ask questions, support boxing. You can't say boxing is dying if you are not supporting it when it matters. Support the up and coming guy.
Agreed. Agreed.
That support could mean a world of difference as far as confidence and as far as what these fighters can achieve and these young boys. Also, get boxing in public schools. We need boxing in public schools.
I agree. I agree.
Instead of
Yeah,
suspending our young black and brown boys or our troubled boys and our troubled young girls, get boxing in public schools and give them something that they can excel at.
I agree. I agree. Where can they follow you at?
The _fighter mechanic.
There you guys
So
have it.
THE_fighter FIGHTER mechanic MECHANIC.
And you guys can follow me at AJ_media_. You guys can follow us at Off the Hook with AJ. Thank you again, Coach Cutt. I really do appreciate you stopping by. There you guys have it. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Off the Hook with AJ. And we out till next time.